I don't know when I should start this thing because I don't know how many people are going to actually show up.
Yes. Okay. I got my audio to work.
Nice. All right, we got Tony, we got Ann.
Yes. Hello.
Hey guys.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, good. Good. I'm on my cell phone, my computer, my home latest greatest computer. The camera isn't working.
Ah.
That's okay. I can hear you and see you.
Okay. Well, for this meeting, I'm mostly going to be sharing my screen anyway because I have a slide presentation.
Perfect. I'll pull it up here on my computer.
All right. So before we get started, in the chat, I'm going to put a link up to a Google form. If you guys can fill that out so I know who's here.
Okay. I can see you loud and clear.
Yeah, you might want to mute one or put your phone away from the computer a little bit because then it causes an echo. I've noticed that when I have two things going on at the same time.
Thank you. How's that? What?
Right. I wonder if hold on. Isabel, is it okay if I make you a co-host to this meeting?
Sure.
The reason being is when I'm in full share screen mode, I can't see anyone that's trying to join or anything, so you can let them in.
Not a problem.
How's everyone doing with the quarantining?
My kids need to get outside to go play in some dirt. They're going crazy.
Oh yeah, and now it's mud, right? Because of all the rain we're
Yes.
getting.
Mud and the lake and the stream and yeah, all of that stuff that just piles up. Yes, definitely.
Yep. Is anyone in both meetings by any chance? I wouldn't even know how that works. All right, it's 7:30. I guess I can get started. So let me share my screen. Feel free to interrupt me if you have any questions. Okay, so this is the STEM, intro to the STEM Nova program. To start off, let me introduce, does someone have their thing on? Because I hear an echo on my, if you can you mute your screens unless you have a question? That'll help. Okay, so for those that don't know me, my name is Jovian Bott. A little bit of background about me. I'm an Eagle Scout. I graduated from the University of Kansas in computer engineering. I'm retired Army, and currently I'm working from home as a systems engineer, but usually I work on the naval base here in Corona. Some of my scouting positions, I'm the Temescal District STEM Nova Chair. I'm a Cub Master for Pack 803 in Eastvale. And being the STEM Nova Chair, of course, I'm a Nova Counselor and a Supernova Mentor. I took Wood Badge last year as a participant, and this year I was supposed to be a troop guide for the Greater Los Angeles Council, which starts like in 2 weeks, but because of everything that's going on, that's unfortunately postponed to sometime later. So being a troop guide is postponed for me. But on the other side, I'm also going to be on staff for the Philmont Leadership Challenge. So for any Wood Badgers out there, if you haven't heard of the Philmont Leadership Challenge, this is me promoting it right now. And if you're on the CIEC, then it's the best time to go because there's actually 2 of us that are going to be crew guides on staff in September, me and Desiree, if you know who Desiree is. So if you're interested in that, let me know. Okay, so a brief overview of what we're going to be covering in this breakout. First, STEM, the what and the why, a little bit about the Nova and the Supernova program, how to become a Nova counselor or a Supernova mentor, and then some of the council's implementations of STEM. Okay, so first off, what is STEM? Of course, most of us know it's an acronym that stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. It's a way of setting the curriculum up to trigger math and science to incorporate some of the technology and engineering into what kids learn these days. And STEM and scouting so far, and when I mean so far is before the Nova program was introduced, there's always been science, technology, engineering, and mathematics in scouts, but it was hidden within like the different activities, different adventures, different merit badges. And usually scouting was more focused on the outdoor program, but not all kids wanted to be like a Dan Beard or a Daniel Boone. Some wanted to be Neil Armstrong, Albert Einstein, Bill Gates, Baby Yoda. So, oops, hold on. I think I went too far. So why STEM? Because STEM is in the future. As we know, careers within the next couple of years are going to be more focused on math and science skills. The US in general has been behind in technology, and this is a way of them being able to get us more up to speed, to get our youth more up to speed in it. So it's an economic imperative, as that statement says. Hold on. Oops. So, went too far again. So what was the BSA's response to this? They actually teamed up with ExxonMobil, and by teaming up, I mean the CEO became the president of the BSA sometime in the early 2000s, and they decided to create a STEM program so that our youth would be prepared for life. So that's when they created the Nova, the Supernova awards programs. So first off, let's talk about the Nova Awards. As you can see, it's broken down between the different disciplines. There's the Cub level, the Scouts BSA level, and then the Venturers or Sea Scouts level. I think there's a total of 11 in the Cub Scouts, 10 in the BSA, and 9 in Venturers Sea Scouts. But this list is continually growing. They'll add to this list, kind of like they add to merit badges, add to the different adventures in Cub Scouts. So that's that. So when we talk about Nova Awards, what's involved in completing a Nova Award? Well, first off, the Scout needs to participate with a Nova counselor, and we'll get to a little bit what a Nova counselor is. But every Nova award has like 5 or 6 different components. The first one being some sort of research element. They have to watch or read something related to the STEM area that they're working on. For the BSA and venturers, it's 3 hours total. For the younger scouts, it's an hour. And then the second step is usually completing a Cub Scout adventure given their level, a merit badge or an exploration from a given list. And then next would be a scientific exploration. This is usually some kind of activity or something that they have to create. For example, in the Cubs Science Everywhere Nova, they have to explore why a rocket, or what effect does fins have on a rocket. So they get into all of that, and then they use the scientific method to determine how far things go and stuff like that. And then going on with the requirements, they usually visit a place that has that particular STEM area in practice. And then the final step is usually a discussion with a counselor on how that particular STEM area affects their everyday life. Okay. So when you go to the Scout store, these are some of the books that you might see. They're separated by the different levels, the Cub Scout, the Boy Scouts, and the Venturers. If you've gotten one of these books, you may notice that it's not the best. It's just basically has the list of requirements, and maybe in the back it'll say something to Nova counselors what they can discuss. But when you become a counselor, you're mostly just searching stuff up online, as you'll notice. But when the Scouts finish their first award, they receive this Nova patch here on the left side. That's worn on their pockets. And then any additional Nova awards that they receive, they get a pipe pin to pin on that patch. And I guess a common question is if a Scout can work on a Nova that they've worked on before. The answer is yes, and they would receive a pin, but they would have to do different activities than they did previously for that Nova. So let's talk a little bit about the Supernovas. With the word super in front of it, it means it's more challenging, more rigorous. And the intent of it was for the youth to be more motivated in STEM related careers and to recognize them for advanced achievements. Some of the requirements, it's basically based on the different age levels and the different progressions. Additional adventures, merit badges, explorations, additional activities. And then this last requirement that they learn about, help promote STEM Nova awards. If they're up in the Scouts BSA level or the Venturer level, it's usually having to teach a STEM Nova to the Cubs. Or if they're in the Cub level, then they have to participate in a Nova that an older Scout is teaching. Here's all the Supernovas, and they usually come out in medals, kind of like the Olympic medals. They come in bronze, silver, and gold. In the Cub Scout level, there's 2. It starts with the Luis Walter Alvarez Supernova, and wolves and bears can work on that. Then it goes to the Charles Towns. When they become a Webelos, they can work on that. Younger Scouts, the lions and the tigers, they can also work on it, not on the Supernovas. They can work on the Novas, but they wouldn't receive the patch per se. You could give them something else, another patch, or they can work on another activity when they do get up to that wolf bear level. And then when they get to Scouts BSA, there's the Bernard Harris and the Thomas Edison, and it's a progression. So you have to take Bernard Harris before you can go for the silver, or unless they move up to the venturing Sea Scouting level, then it's the Sally Wright Brothers, and then they have to be a registered venturer or a Sea Scout to receive the gold, which is the Albert Einstein. So what does it take to become a Nova counselor or a Supernova mentor? There's some similarities between the two. First of all, you must be 21 years of age or older. You need to fill out a BSA adult application and be registered within the council. For Nova counselors, the position code is 58. For Supernova mentors, it's 52. And like all other positions and any adult that's participating with the youth, they need to take the youth protection training, and they also need to take the training in scouting.org, the STEM and Scouting, under the BSA Learn Center. And it says Nova Counselor Training and then Supernova Mentor, but it's actually the same training because it's labeled STEM and Scouting, Nova Counselor, and Supernova Mentor. So that's the requirements to become a Nova Counselor. It's just basically anyone that's interested in teaching, kind of like a den leader. We might not know anything, but we're willing to learn it and then teach it to the youth. But for the Supernova mentor, there's actually an expectation. They need to be some sort of subject matter expert or in the STEM field. I have a career in a field in STEM, and they also need to fill out another piece of paperwork and submit it to council, the Supernova Awards mentor information. And that's basically kind of like if you're a merit badge counselor, it's kind of like that paper. And I can, when I get out of this screen sharing, I could post a URL to that if anyone's interested.
So question on that. So if you're, let's say, an engineer and your major is electrical engineering and you still do things with engineering and all that, you could apply for the Supernova?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, so some things to remember when you are a Nova counselor or a Supernova mentor. STEM is supposed to be fun. It's used to encourage the youth, but again, you have to be safe when you're doing these things. Make sure you wear safety goggles and all the safety requirements. Age definitely makes a difference. The older they are, the more into it and involved and in the research that they are. If you're doing like a STEM Nova day for your pack or the district, you might want to consider a group size, because if you have 50 Cub Scouts running around, that's not fun for anyone. And STEM Novas are usually so that everyone has to participate, kind of like in the merit badges, how you need to have every individual person actually telling you what to do or what they did. That's the same with the Novas. So for example, in the researching, when they watch the videos and or reading something about a Nova, they need to come up with 2 different questions or ideas, and they need to discuss that with the counselor. There's no time limit in these Novas, so they can work on one and then let go. And actually now is the perfect time, since we're all in the house, so they can work on these anytime, as long as they can find a Nova counselor or a Supernova mentor, and just know who you're working with in general. So some things that the CIEC is working on, I don't know if I have any Scoutmasters here in the breakout, but
I'm a Scoutmaster.
Who's this, Manuel?
Manuel, yeah.
Okay, yeah. In early or late January, early February, you should have received something in the mail from Council, Matt Myers, which is basically a letter and then like a Nova book. And then in that letter, it states something about a STEM expo for the Scouts BSA that the Council is trying to put together. Did you receive that?
I did.
Okay, perfect. So if there's any Scoutmasters out there that didn't receive it, please let me know. Please let any other Nova chairs within the council know. Let us know, and then it might, if you're a newer Scoutmaster, then it might have gone to your previous Scoutmaster, so you might check there as well. But as far as other things in the CIEC, we're planning on incorporating into the different camps, the district day camps, and this idea of a STEMerson, where it's a couple of nights out at our camp in Emerson, where we work on STEM activities. And then we plan on having some Nova days where we pick a Nova and then get out there and work that Nova. And then by the end of that day, everyone receives the patch or the pin if they've already gotten a patch. And then also there's the idea of a STEM in the box. I did this with my pack. I created a STEM in the box for Science Everywhere. And what it contains is like a stomp rockets built out of PVC pipes and effervescent tablets that they use to dissolve, and they use the scientific method to come up with different questions and experiments regarding that. We'll probably be doing more of those. If anyone wants to help me in creating those, that'd be great. And then there's something that I've been working on personally, that putting Novas and Supernovas in a Google Classroom format. I've got a couple of the Cub Scout Novas on Google Classroom right now, but I'm not too familiar with the technology there. So I'm still testing it out. If anyone wants to help me test that, that'd be great also as well. And with that is all I've got. Do we have any questions?
The boys are doing, both my boys are doing a Google Classroom 1, 2, 3, go.
Okay.
As a 5-week session. So each week they're touching, like the first week they had to do an hour reading about probability or watching videos about probability. The second week was getting a poll of your favorite pet and then flipping a coin, and we're only through week 2. But each week is something, so I don't know if you've started looking at how to outline it, because since I'm in a Google Classroom, well, the boys are, but that means I can see it.
Yes.
I could like screenshot if you want to see it.
Sure, that will help.
Share it.
Did you find out with the Nova BSA Facebook group?
Yes.
Okay. In that group, they actually have a breakdown of all the Google Classrooms for most of the Nova awards up on there.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's the one we're doing.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm creating one for our district and council as well, just in case, but I don't have a schedule. They can actually work on it on their own, so more on their own rather than this week being this week being this.
Yeah, that's nice.
Any other questions regarding anything that I said?
Yes, I have one.
Yes, Tony.
I have an echo. I don't know how to get rid of it. Let me back away. There was a supernova on the coronavirus patch, corona bonus patch that someone had online. Do you know anything about that? Or can we do it?
Supernova on the coronavirus patch. I don't know anything about that, but I can look into it for you.
I can.
Or if you have it, you can share it in the chat.
Yeah. Can you see?
Yeah, let me spotlight you.
Yeah, I'll share it in the chat.
So is it a supernova, or is it just requirements for a patch?
Someone, I subscribed to the Nova Facebook page, and someone put it on there, and I opened the link and then I emailed her and I talked to her about it. And she was like, this is something that your pack, your den, your councils would be, should be interested in. And it's a Nova coronavirus bonus patch program. It just came out March 17th. And I can send you the link.
Yeah, send that to me and then I'll take a look into it.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. If you can see it.
Yeah, I see it. All right.
It has how to wash your hands, 12 steps by doing yeah. Okay.
Yeah, send me the link and I'll look into it. And
it looks pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions from anyone? Okay, if we have no other questions, I think that concludes our meeting. I've been recording this so that I could send it to everyone once it gets loaded somewhere. But thanks for joining in, everyone. And
Thanks, Joe.
hope you guys stay healthy and safe. Stay inside.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do I just paste this link in your chat?
Oh, you can send it to me on Facebook if you want.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah. Oh, I think Isabel's just sent me the link too. All right. Cool. I will end the meeting now. See you guys.